journalism major in college at City College in the 90s, so I'm well versed on the whole media structure and the power system. And we can talk about that and how Bill Clinton started the whole thing off by signing a Republican bill in 1998, the telecommunications bill, that allowed the consolidation of our public broadcast media in the United States, and is now been consolidated down to 6 international corporations which control all our media. And the only real option we have is alternative media, like through the internet, like social networks, like KNSJ, which is a low power FM station in East County. It's got 300 watts, and it reaches a total population of about 50,000 people. It has a constant listening public of less than 300 at any given hour. Okay, and how many hours of local programming do you do a day?
We have about 10 local shows. I don't know how many hours because we repeat those shows.
Okay,
but
so
we're on 24/7, and we carry.
So at least 10 hours a week, say, of local media, which is great, which is more than KPBS does. KPBS does 1 hour a day, 5 days a week.
Are they online?
Yes, they are online. KNSJ is online, and you can stream it live, just like you do KPBS. Now, I have some people here with cameras. I love to see that. If you have a cell phone or a camera, I would love you to bring it out, and we might use it a little bit later. One of the things that, you all are different. It's a whole spectrum of experience here. We have everything from new students, college students who have no experience, up to people who have been on the air before, and other people who have been involved in alternative media. The anti-media is one of my heroes. It's one of the greatest things that came out of San Diego so far, and I've got I want to try to coalesce these different groups like KNSJ, the anti-media, and bring them together under one kind of progressive network of local media in San Diego County. And I've been trying to do this for years, and the problem I ran into is that every time I try to start up a new radio station or a new TV station, there'd be somebody there who wanted to control it, who wanted to own it, who wanted to profit from it, to become famous from it, because they wanted their voice, their opinion, their needs met, but they didn't give a shit about anybody else. And I find that's generally the way the media goes in every situation I've ever run into. So I need a nonprofit, okay, nonprofit, that means nobody profits from it, okay, public, open communication system where I can get real, truthful, evidentially testable media. I can't find that. The best that we have, and I had like a whole presentation all worked up, but I have no screen, so I might just go through some. I have it pushed up here on the wall. You can't see what it is, but this is the 6 major corporations that own all the media in America. They're GE, News Corp, Disney, Viacom, Time Warner, and CBS. And they bought up everything. It used to be back in the day that you could only own 1 TV station, 1 radio station, and 1 newspaper in any given region or market. So San Diego, by that definition, should have at least 20 different voices in the media. We've got 6, okay? And really in San Diego, we don't have that many. KPBS is our best option here because it is technically government-funded public media, both television and radio. Problem with KPBS is they need money to operate. They have real journalists who earn real salaries, and they need a lot of money to make those things happen. To get that money, they have to pander to those people who have the money, the corporations, the power in San Diego. Now, who is that?
Defense industry.
The defense industry, excellent.
Irwin Jacobs,
or more specifically, the people who are developing this area and building out San Diego for the last 50 years, say. And they're the people who made the money, and they donate the money, and they have the trust funds and the foundations that are donating and underwriting all of KPBS's things. Now, a lot of good people like myself give $60 a year or whatever to KPBS, and they need that to prove that they actually are supported by the general public. So if we don't give them that, then they won't get the matching government funds in order to prove that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing. But if you go up to LA and you listen to public radio, you get a totally different experience than you get here in San Diego. Why is that? You have KPFK. You have at least 4 different major region-wide public communication systems. They're all competing for different sectors of the public, different demographics. And they're willing to do more things that are liberal, progressive, really radical, to let minorities speak, God forbid, right? Because they have an audience in the LA basin that's going to listen to them and give them ears. And that means they're going to have influence and power, and that's what the media does. It influences and powers. What?
Where they get their funding?
They get their funding from the same place that KPBS does, from various forms of public and government funding and underwriting and things like that. Go ahead, I'll get you in a second. But they're not the only voice in that area. There's multiple. So if KPBS broke into, say, 2 channels, which they have plenty of money, they got a $20 million a year budget. They could be 2, 3, 4 channels, and they were competing with each other. That would be great. KNSJ competes with KPBS. KNSJ